Good evening, everyone. It's Saturday night. Let's chat. Hey, hey, let's chat. It's Saturday. I went to go on live yesterday, but I was running really late. And by the time I got home, it was too late. So I said, Saturday, we'll just do it Saturday. Come on, Saturday. Let me see. I got to find the chat here. I know they changed everything up. So there we go. Hi, Renee. How are you? I knew there was somebody in chat. There's always, hello, John. How are you, ma'am? Yeah, so what an interesting week, huh? Has everybody had a really, really interesting week? Or is it just me? Hi, Rachel and Bobby, and mostly Rachel, because I know it's Rachel. But I know Bobby's listening too. So hi. Bigfoot. We want to talk about Bigfoot. Hi, Karen. How are you? Yeah, so I've been really busy this week, helping Jeffrey Gonzalez in the studio. It's really exciting, real exciting. At least I'm excited. I don't have to be in front of the camera. I don't mind being in front of the camera, as otherwise I wouldn't be in front of the camera right now. Uh, but only setting up the studio for the new TV thing that he has going is really fun. I mean, it's really fun, exciting. And he happened to buy some pretty good stuff. It's going to look pretty amazing. You know, I'm a little teeny bit jealous that I'm not going to be, on there, but not that much jealous, but at least I'll be running the show behind the camera, and that's exciting to do. And there's so much Bigfoot stuff going on and alien stuff. It's more than in all my years of following Bigfoot. Hey, Hummingbird! All my years of following Bigfoot, I don't think I've ever seen the activity like it is right now. That's cool. Thank you so much. Um, I I didn't get a chance to get out there because I've been busy down here. And then next week I have jury duty. Oh my God, and an eyeball shot. So I'm gonna tell him I have an eyeball shot and see, and then that guy's guilty without even looking at him. I know he's guilty, so I don't think they'll have me in there very long. But yeah, so it's been really busy, and I haven't been able to go up and follow up on the footprint that the cast that I got. I haven't been able to follow up too much on that, and actually do a real investigation. Hey Ed, how are you? And I'm a little bit bummed about that because but I know they're not going anywhere. They'll be out there, and so but only I want to get out there. You know what I mean? When you have a track like that come to you, you're it gets everything going for me, like, oh man, I can't wait to get out there. I did get out there for one, like an afternoon and evening into the night, but it all I did was talk to people, and that just got me more excited because I had some people that worked for me at the casino, and they live in this particular little area, and they were they had some good stories, and they're freaking out. Like, I used to live up there for 25 years. I lived up in that area, and I thought they were there, but I wasn't sure if they were there. All I know is I don't know if you guys know, but when you're in an area where Bigfoot is, or if he's in your area, near you, wherever you are, they put off a vibe. And hey, Patrick, they put this vibe off that it feels like you're being watched, but normally it's like totally uncomfortable, and it has a sense of fear to it. I mean, it's hard to explain, but you have like intrepidation, or a feeling like something really bad is out there. And where I lived, I lived about a mile up a road, a paved road, and then you turn onto my driveway, and there was a gate, and enough room maybe for 2 cars to pull up to the gate. And then it was another probably quarter mile to my house. On my driveway, it was about a quarter mile. And so you're like out there, and it's dark, and I didn't have a light out there. There was no power way out there. And sometimes I would be listening. It would be 1 or 2 in the morning when I got off work. I mean, I would go to work at 7 in the morning. I would get off. It would be 1 or 2 in the morning. I worked a lot, but I enjoyed my job. So it wasn't that I didn't want, I didn't want to get off. So a lot of times I didn't want to get off work. I was having so much fun, but so it was always really late or early, however you want to look at it. And I would get to the gate, and sometimes I would be listening to the Art Bell. And oh my gosh, they would be having a story. And sometimes I chalked it up to just listening to Art Bell, of the feeling I had, because I didn't get the feeling while I was in the car, or actually, I was in a 1-ton dually, but I didn't get that feeling in the truck. But as soon as I got out of the truck and started walking to the gate, all of it, and it wasn't always every night either. I mean, this is just every so often. I I would want to run the whole way, like run to the gate, fumble with everything trying to get it, and I never locked it. I just latched it because we had some cows and a bull and other thing. And I actually had 2 gates to go through. So I would get through that gate, running the whole way, and I mean, I couldn't wait to get back in the truck. And then I had to get out again. I had to get out again and close the gate. And there'd be some nights I just knew something was there. And not always was I listening to Art Bell either. Just sometimes I was, and I would chalk it up to that. A lot of times I couldn't handle whatever they were talking about, so I just shut it off, listen to music or something, or nothing. Just listen to my thoughts. Hey, JP. And I would run and get back in the truck, and then drive all the way to the next gate, which opened up to my yard, to the house. And still no light except for a porch light and a motion light on the house, but it was still down a little ways, because my yard was about 3 acres. So, I could see the house and everything, but I was still out in the dark. And man, I would sit there like 4 or 5 minutes, just sitting there staring at the gate, like. And usually on those nights, there would be no cows. Usually they would be over there by the gate thinking I'm gonna bring some feed or something out there. And on those nights, they never were there, and I don't know where they were. It was 160 acres, so They could be anywhere, you know. But normally when they would hear my truck coming and they would meet me at the gate. And the only thing that really bothered me when the cows were there was the bull. I don't like him. He didn't like me. And but there were some nights that I knew they were there. And so, but I never saw anything. And I would get stories here and there over the, 25 years, maybe 5 times of the white Bigfoot. Hey, Frankie, how are you? And thank you. But I would get stories of the white Bigfoot, but never anything, any other color. And everybody always described the same thing. And now there was a reservation down the main road from where I lived at. It was probably 4 miles. So in I would say 15 square mile area, 15 or 20, I would get 35. Man, I think that's what it is here right now, about 35. Hey, Adolf, how are ya? I'm almost ready to get out there. But I would get these people telling me about this white Bigfoot, 6.5 feet tall, always crossing the road. That's where they saw it. The main road, they would see it crossing the main road. Nobody ever saw it like on their property or anything like that. So, I always was out on the lookout for them, always, and never saw anything down there, but I could go higher into the mountains and I could see them. I mean, I would see, like, I think over the last 30 years, I've seen Bigfoot 5 times now. And if you count video, 7 times that we caught Bigfoot on video. Good deal. I mean, you do need it. I wish it would rain and snow a little more. I would really like that. But so I got out there and I know everybody in the area. I mean, everybody goes to the casino sometime or another. Even if they gamble or not gamble, they at least show up to the restaurant. Like I had a night that I called Totally Tuesday, and everything was in twos. So when you walked in the door, you got to put your hand in a bucket and pull out 2 keys, and there was a treasure chest, a big treasure chest as you walked up into the foyer or whatever you want to call it. And you get 2 keys, so you could open the chest 2 times. And when you open the chest, you can pull out 2 envelopes. And whatever was on the envelopes, you won. And then throughout the night, I would draw names, and I had a big wheel with prizes on it with t-shirts, and one spot had $5,000, and it had about 40 spots. It had mugs, t-shirts, dinner for 2. And on that night, when you go in the restaurant, the special would be dinner for 2, like you buy one get one, so 2, right? Totally Tuesday. So a lot of people would show up that don't gamble, and then there was always a 2-hour wait to get in the restaurant on that night. And I would get to talk to people, and I would hear all kinds of stories and stuff like that. So I got to know a lot of people in the mountain area. And yeah, I actually at Millerton Lake, we were hunting a huge Bigfoot. They were saying it was so big, it was pulling a cow up the hill, and it had one hoof, like say the right rear hoof, and the front left hoof, and it was dragging it up a really steep hill. and went up over the hill, and it was dragging a full-size cow, and we found the tracks to it and everything. WWE Royal Rumble, hey, it's hard to compete with that, really is. I haven't checked out wrestling. I don't have TV anymore, so I don't follow it as much. But so because I know everybody, when I went out investigating this track that I got a hold of, I went to the area where the track was made, and I have a video on here. I thought maybe I might share it. I'm still learning this software, so I'm not really good at sharing things. Hey, Pocket Pro. But I went out there, and people were coming home from work. I was out there wandering around and going across the road from where the track was, and I was looking for more tracks. So I was kind of zigzagging back and forth across the road, and from one side to the other, and trying to figure out where this Bigfoot went, because how well, I don't want to get sidetracked here, but as I was doing that, almost every car that came by stopped and said, "Hey, what are you doing? You haven't seen you in a long time." Yeah, a couple of people that worked for me, that worked for the casino, but worked for me like in the restaurant, some waitresses, and some the people in the cage that you pay, when you're prize and they pay you out, or you can get change, stuff like that, cash your tickets in. And I was running into them, and then some people, they didn't work for me. They just were people I ran into at the casino. They were either gambling, or they always came for dinner on Tuesday night and sometimes Friday night. And they're like, "What are you doing out here? You look like you're lost." Like, "Oh, I'm not lost. I know the whole area really well." And then, I told them what I was doing, and they're like, "Oh man, we need to talk to you. Like, we can't go outside at night anymore." And I gave a few of them some tips, because they're talking about this thing slapping their house, running around their yard, just scaring the what out of them, staring through their windows. In fact, the one that left the track, it was the people that found the track, they actually saw it, and they were staying in a motor home, and you're out in the middle of nowhere, so they don't have the blinds closed, or the big window in the front of the motor home. They didn't have anything. They have everything wide open. I mean, you leave your keys in the car and everything when you live out there in the middle of nowhere. And they said it was when for some reason, they felt like somebody was staring at them, and they turned and looked out the front window of the RV. It's a pretty big one, big motorhome. And there's this thing standing there, and it actually had to duck. It was ducked down, looking in the RV window. And they could see it really good. The lights inside the RV were lighting it up pretty good. It probably could see them better than they could see it, though, because they said they could see their reflection of them on the window, but in the inside of the RV, because it was dark. And they said then all of a sudden, it noticed they were looking at him, and it turned, and that's why I think it shows 6 toes. I don't think it really has 6 toes. I think when it pivoted, it was up on it went up on its toes, kind of, and pivoted, and it went directly away from them, but they could see it, and it leapt, I don't know, and it jumped. It jumped, and Okay, so when it turned, like if I'm the Bigfoot and I'm facing this way and I'm going to run away, right here is a huge boulder, probably 3 feet. And then right in front of it is two 20-foot oak trees, about 5 feet apart, something like that. And they seen it jump and it went through the tree and it broke the branches as it went. It broke off the branches and it made a perfect place where it jumped. And so I was, now that's running towards their dirt road, where the road they live on. And I was looking for where, I know it had to cross. I actually believe it lived on the hill across the road. There was a hill over there, and I know the name of the hill, but I can't say the name. I don't want to say it and then have everybody out there trespassing and looking, And I'm not even going to say the name of the road because I just don't want a lot of people doing that. So, hi, Darlene. Oh, wait, there's some things on chat here. Too large, Channel 53 helicopter came out of his property. I think the military went in and got the Sasquatch. Huh, really? They may have, but they don't know where. They don't know exactly where. I never said where. I just said Toll House area, which is huge area. I mean, there's a little town of Toll House, and then everybody's address for miles is Toll House, or anywhere around Toll House. But this is actually pretty far from Toll House, but it has the address of Toll House. And I'm not saying whether it's north, south, east, or west of Toll House either, but Toll House area. I mean, that's as narrow as I'll get on it. And I videotaped that track after it was cast. I videotaped it. You could still see the track really good. And I could see how when it twisted, it bunched up some dirt between the big toe and the toe next to it. Its toes splayed open a little bit and some dirt went up in there and it made it look like there was another toe. I think. I mean, that's what it looked like. It could have had 6 toes, but it kind of didn't look like that to me. It looked like that it moved the mud or the dirt, the sand, that it was wet sand. And I looked and looked. I couldn't find another track anywhere. I mean, I walked all over, and then I ran into the owner of the property. He owns 1,100 acres. So there's not a lot of people, right? It's like hardly any people. And I ran into him, and he told me anytime I want, I could park out there, bring my equipment, do whatever. I don't even need to ask him. Most of it is unfenced. So, and there was a lot of places I could pull off. There's a lot of flat spots that he had made for equipment and different things that he has, And I thought, I'm going to get out there, but I haven't been able to get out there. And I do want to go. I told some of the people in the car, that were really worried. I told them, get some game cameras or some security cameras, get some motion sensing lights and put them around. Because, I mean, it won't make them go away, but it'll keep them at bay. They'll kind of stay away from your house. You won't, if you put them where there's no place that they could get near your house, like a shadow area, and just space them out perfect where a light will come on every 20 feet or something like that, they won't come around. They'll put a few cameras. I mean, even cameras will work, but They can make the camera turn off. I'm not sure about if they could turn off cameras and lights and all that stuff. I do know it works though. And I do know a lot of people don't know this. Jesus' name will get rid of them. That's pretty telling right there. Jesus' name will make them go away off your property, completely off. Completely will leave you alone. That which is kind of weird, but I know a lot of people they're not into that, so I don't suggest that unless I know they're the type that has that kind of faith or knows what to do, because it's not a game. That's not a game. If Jesus' name makes them run away, that makes it where they could be pretty dangerous, really. And anyone that is doing Bigfoot habituation, where they're going out there and inviting them, or they're at their house and they're inviting them, or anything like that, or they're Christians even, and they're out there, but the Bigfoot's being nice and welcoming and all that, that would put red flags up to me. They're just trying to get permission or acceptance, because once you lower your guard down that and allow them close, then you don't know what's going to happen. And they might put on that really good nicey nice stuff for a while, but because they're there and the energy they can put out, you start having other things go on, like arguing and problems, just health problems. It could be anything. They could be shooting that infrasound at you, and they could be hurting your life, and you don't even know it's them, right? It's not them. They're so nice. I mean, it's just a thought. Don't believe me. Find out for your own self, okay? Like, don't take my word for it. I'm not an expert. This is just something that over 30 years of following these things and trying to learn about them and figure them out, and where do they come from, and why are they here, and what are they, and all that. This is just some things I've learned, and not from one time. Okay, not from just one, oh, it worked one time, no, this is like over and over and over. So I haven't been out there yet, and I'm not going to stop. I'm going to go out there. That they don't scare. I mean, they scare me after what I've seen 5 times in real life. And I've seen how fast they can run. I've seen how fast they could go up a tree. I've seen how far they can jump, broad jump, like 20 feet broad jumping. And then running, like the really big ones, their tracks are 15 feet apart. Running. Like, oh my gosh. Like, yeah. So it's fun to go research them and everything, and I'm always armed. I don't like broadcast that to to the Bigfoot, or like, hey, come on over here so I could shoot you. I'm not really out there. I don't want to shoot one. I know there's more than one. In fact, the people were telling me there was more than one. They've seen 3 at a time sometimes up there, and I say, you can look in that area. You can go to Kings River. The Kings River is I mean, we've investigated that one for the last, 5 years, and we're pretty open about Avocado Lake and all that. I mean, if you really want to have an encounter and stuff, go out there. And if you don't live around here, find water, lake, ponds, creeks, rivers, and start going out there, and I guarantee you, sooner or later, you're gonna have an encounter. There's not just one Bigfoot running around, and there's not a small population either. It's a lot of them, and, I say get with it, you know? Hey, my chat stopped. What happened? Oh, man, what? Somebody died? From having Bigfoots around? Hey, Dave, how are you? I'm missing everybody. I'm reading his story like, whoa, dude, what a story. Cool. Go for it, Darlene. You can do whatever. Yes, they are, Dave. Yes. I think so. I mean, you could believe whatever you want to believe. I mean, I, sooner or later, you'll come to the same conclusion I am, unless they really got the wool pulled over your eyes. Mr. Lurks a lot, how's it going? And you know, usually, like, if you're not opposite the opposite of Jesus and all that, you're not going to run away. It- You're not going to run, and you're not going to stay away. If you use that name, it's not going to like make them disappear or anything. And if they're being nice to you and everything, why would they stop? You know what I mean? I mean that. And then why do they kill people's dogs and stuff like that? Like, do you think a being that was benevolent would kill people's dogs because the dog, outed them where they were standing? I mean, think about the things like read some stories and stuff online, and you'll start seeing that. I mean, they're nice sometimes, but I think they're only nice to get on your good side to lower your guard. That's what I think. See, that's a trip. Like, now, who got him, right? Was it the Sasquatch or was it the government trying to shut him up? So that's another weird thing. The government is hiding these things, and they're hiding information from us, and it's not cool. Maybe he didn't even know. Yeah, Dave, you're right. Again, those are. Yeah, dogs give them away. And then the next thing you know, your doggy is gone. What? I never heard of that. Wow, that's a trip right there. You know, um, starting like maybe pre-sunset into the night. And hi, Callie and Woolly Booger. Oh, I know they read minds, and I know they can mind speak too. I have recently had that happen, and I was totally not expecting that. It was really a trip. Hey, Bolt Gun, how are you? And Lockbeard, hey. Man, lots of people in the house tonight. Yeah, so what's the topic? Bigfoot? So far, so good, huh? Yeah, I'm excited though about Jeffrey's TV thing this time, man. He has it's a cool setup, I gotta tell you. Can't say much more than that, but boy, it's gonna if you can catch if he gets on TV, you got to make sure you get to see it. Well, I know some places at by Avocado Lake. I actually want to go over by the spot. I want to see what happened. We haven't been to the spot. I heard it burned down in there. And man, I would freak out. And like, I never had a Bigfoot that I know of look in the window at me yet that I know of. Right. Hi, Shelly. Cool. I'm glad you made it. Yeah. I'll go alone even, but I'm gonna make sure that I'm in a populated area, because they're coming down in populated areas. They're not when I first started when I first saw Bigfoot, it was far. It was hi Ernest. See that might have got him right there. Yeah, we do, Kelly. We go a trip up to the spot. Thank you, Ernest. Um, when I first saw the Bigfoot, the first one I saw, it was the biggest one I ever saw. Now the one I saw at Thule was it was big, but it was only about 9 feet tall, maybe 10. But the one I saw way up high in the mountains, it was around 12 feet tall, and its legs look like basketball star legs. It was really long legs, and the spot is like over by Kings Canyon National Park. It's actually really close to there, but it's not in the park. It's just outside the park boundary. A fetal position? Wait, you guys, this I'm missing some stuff here, man. Over the years, Darlene, over the years, I have taken and I remember, oh man, like pre to in the 90s. I talked to some people that were in Orange Cove and Parlier in those area over there, and there's Bigfoot sightings all the time over there. And I was taking stories of those in the 90s in Parlier and Orange Cove. A lot of stuff in around Sanger. I mean, like right outside of Sanger. And now we're seeing him right in Reedley. I mean, I haven't been able to do it, but I want to go sit in Reedley. Man, dude, I almost did. I peed all over my feet. The one at Thule, I was out there to pee, and I went, I was looking around, and what I was trying to do is not cross I was trying to see where your dad's motion sensor was because I didn't want to cross it and wake everybody up. So I found it, and I was kind of looking at it, and I mean, it was only I could reach out and touch it. It was that close, and it was probably 15 feet from the tent, maybe 20 feet. And I looked up, and it was a full moon, and I was in the shadow of these giant oak trees. So it was really dark under the oak trees, but it was really bright when you're not under the oak tree. It was, like daylight. It was really bright. The moon was really high up, straight up, like high noon kind of, but I don't know what time it was. The moon was high in the sky, and I was looking at the motion sensor, and then I just started to pee, and I looked up, and and there was this huge silhouette right in front of me of this, I would say about 20 feet, and I tore it up trying to get back to the tent. I peed all over my feet and shoes, and I got in the tent and covered up my head. What's the weirdest thing was my nephew went out right after I did. And I didn't say anything, I was so scared. I just knew it was going to come and get me. And I got in there and in the tent and covered my head up. And then I hear the zipper, and I didn't know who was going out, but I heard the zipper of the tent. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I thought somebody was coming in, but then I realized it was somebody getting out. And I heard him go out, and all of a sudden this person started cussing, and I realized it was my nephew. And I mean, he cussed a blue streak as he got back in the tent and about tore the tent down, getting the zipper back down. And then he got really quiet. He must have been doing the same thing as me. Cover your head up and lay there, And then the motion went off. That motion sensor went off. The one I was standing next to that was right in front of this thing. And then the other motion that was opposite from it on the other side of the tent, there was 4 motions, like north, south, east, west. Well, like the opposite side started going off. And I was looking at the lights I pulled it down just so I could see which one, is going off. And I realized 2 of them are going off. And then I realized I never knew it before, but when it was motion 1, it would go beep, beep. If it was 2, it would go beep, beep. 3 would be beep, 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 and number 4 did 4 beeps. So it was motion sensor 2 that went off first. That was the one I was next to, and it was like beep, 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 beep. All of a sudden it started making all kinds of beeps, and it was motion sensor 1 or 2, and then motion sensor 4. And I went to sleep. Okay, who does that? All right, who does that? Like, you don't go to sleep after you see something like that. You lay awake all night long. But I didn't. I wound up. I went to sleep. The next thing I know, I'm waking up, and I was like, oh my God, I freaked out, man. I freaked out that I went to sleep. I'm telling you. That's what happened to my mother-in-law. That happened to my mother-in-law when we lost the tent in Oregon. She squatted down and take a pee, and she looked up, and there it was, 6 feet from her, standing over her, looking at her in the morning, like 9 in the morning. She freaked out bad. Yeah, I bet there is. I would love to read that book. I would. I think they did put me to sleep because I've we've had them at the spot right next to our tent. I don't know how many times. I can't even count how many times. Never saw them, but they were right there, touching the tent, and you could hear them stepping on the tarp that the tent is on. And you could hear them talking first. For at least 45 minutes, you can hear him down the hill talking, and then little pebbles will start hitting the tent. I never went to sleep. I stayed awake the whole time. And once, you hear them walking off and the voices start fading away, and then, you lay there for a little while and you go to sleep, that you're safe or whatever. But when they're right there, you don't go to sleep. I mean, I never have before or since. That was the only time. And I guess that one time we lost time at the spot. That was kind of going to sleep, kind of. But it was like 15 minutes or so that we lost time. We don't know we don't know what happened. We still don't know what happened. Man, white orbs? Oh, man. Yeah, wow. I'm telling you. See, that I actually believe this a lot. Where is it? Like, I believe a lot of people that seen him don't say because they think people's gonna think they're crazy. Because when I first saw Bigfoot the very, very, very first time, I was with he was like my dad. He was my dad's best friend, and I mean, his son and myself, they were friends before we were born. And then they were avid outdoorsmen. We were out there all the time, and we grew up in a playpen in the camp. Like, I don't even remember. As far back as I can remember, we always were camping and hunting. And I mean, I was shooting jackrabbits at 5 years old for that to eat. We would eat them and tracking things. I mean, they were teaching me real young to hunt and track and how old is the track, you know, all that stuff. What identifying the tracks, what are they? How old are they? A day old, an hour old, a few minutes old, and they were always testing us all the time, us kids, teaching us safety, gun safety, survival technique. Well, anyways, I was with him, and he told me he's seen it 5 times. The one that we saw that day made number 6 for him 6 times. And I got mad at him. I was mad. I was like, man, you know, all those times I was running around in the woods all by myself. I mean, far, all by myself with a BB gun. And then there's a 12-foot tall creature that probably watched me grow up there. Like, oh my God, that freaked me out. But when I asked him how come he didn't tell me, he told me, if you ever tell anybody that I saw it with you, I'll deny it to your face and make fun of you. Because he said he tried when he first saw Bigfoot to talk about it, and everybody made fun of him. So he would talk to me about it, but he wouldn't talk to anyone else, not even his family. He would not say anything about it. And I was telling everybody, and everybody thought I was wackadoodle, man. It was 1987, 88, 89, 90, and all the people at work would make fun of me. And I mean, I was like the laughing joke for a while. And right now, it's cool. It's the weirdest thing. Like the last probably 4 or 5 years, it's become a cool thing to have seen one. But it wasn't like that, and it wasn't like that all the time. So the older guys like me or older, they're not going to say nothing because they already been ridiculed so much. And I don't care what people think. I absolutely do not care. I did not care then. I don't care now. I know what I saw. I I just tell people, you better be watching yourself in the woods. Watch yourself. When you're camping, they're there and they're watching you. And I know they are because after I saw one, I know a lot of stuff that happened to me as I was growing up. All of a sudden, what I couldn't what I didn't know what it did it, and I would just write it off as whatever. I knew what it was now. Now I know why that I would be walking to the creek to grab a soda for everybody in camper and a beer for the dads, and did it hundreds of times. But there would be some times that you would be on your way back or on your way there even, and you felt scared to death and run. And when I got back to camp, always Big Mike, the one I saw it with, always laughed at me. He thought it was so funny that I was running and scared. Now I know why that too, because he knows what I saw or what I felt. He knew that whatever put that fear on me, he knew what it was. But he told me it will not hurt you if you leave them alone. This is what he said. If you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I think the only reason he didn't get taken out is because he always was armed to the teeth. He always had at least, a 300 H&H or a 30-06 and a 45. I mean, he always had something on his hip, and he always had a rifle strapped on, his shoulder. He always was armed. Oh, I'm missing the chat. I wonder why my chat's not scrolling. I'm sitting here looking, I'm thinking nobody's saying nothing. Yeah, man. Wow. Wow, Woolly Booger. 10 to 15 minutes. That's pretty long for a sighting, really. I even though my first sighting, we watched it almost 2 hours, if not 2 hours. And only because of how it walked. Yeah, see, I know on your with your guys's things with the aliens, uh, it is good skills to have. I use them all the time, Bigfooting now, going out looking for Bigfoot. I mean, I quit. I never hunted again after the day that I saw that thing. I had 30 guns, shotguns. I had one for every, I had the small calibers, like a 22 250 and a 270 and a 6 millimeter, a 7 millimeter Magnum, two 30-06s, several shotguns, one for self protection, one for bird hunting, one for rabbit hunting. I mean, like, I had it, and then pistols. I had a 1911 45 and a 44 and a 41 Magnum and 357, two 357s. I mean, a 22 Colt, a couple of, and then 22 rifles. I had an old 22 rifle, and this guy, and it was given to me by an great uncle. And when I lived up in the hills, this guy, he was having trouble with something, and he wanted to borrow. I think it was ground squirrels were overtaking his garden and all that stuff. He wanted to shoot it, and he borrowed my 22, and then he never brought it back. And I went after that 22, I don't know how many times, and he wouldn't never give it back to me, act like he didn't know what I was talking about. And I told him, man, I'm going to come over here and shoot your house up, dude. Like, it made me so mad. That was out of all the guns, that and my 300 Magnum that I got from my dad, the Weatherby 300 Magnum. Those two right there were the ones that had sentimental value. And I didn't have another 22 to give him. I gave the other 22 away, so I only had one left. And once I got hurt, I lost everything. I sold most of them, but I kept the 300 Weatherby, and an actual I hawked it for $100 because we were starving and we didn't have an income for 5 years. And so I hawked the gun for $100. I went to pick it up, and the guy said, "Oh, you're a day too late." But on my little paper, the date was smeared. So I didn't even really know the day, but only I did know the day because I put it on a calendar, because I'm not going to lose my gun, right? I was on the day, the last day, I got $100, and I went in there to get it. He goes, "Oh, you're a day late," but I couldn't prove I was on the wrong day because the date was all messed up on the paperwork. He goes, "Anyways, I already sold it." I go, "You can't. It's only been one day. Like, how did you today you'd be selling it. Let me buy it back. Give me my gun back. I'll give you $100 and plus interest, right?" And I lost it. That guy I wanted to shoot his store up. But I have any more guns to shoot. Billy, I'm back. I'm back. I have guns now. And people better watch out if they F with me anymore, because I'm a pretty good shot. I reloaded my own ammunition for everything I had except 22s and shotguns. I mean everything. I even lost. I sold all my reloading equipment too. I wish I had it now, because now I'm resupplying my guns and I can't reload, and I can't in California. You can't buy this shit. It makes me mad. Yeah, those pawn guys, you got to watch out for them, man. They are freaking bad, and they have all the money and gold and diamonds and all this shit. What do they need to like jip people for? Really? I mean, the guy, he's just down the street from me still, and I went in and bought a gun from him. And he was looking at me. He remembered me because he knows, he ripped me off, man. He was eyeballing me, but I did it the right way, and I bought this little 38 Special Charter Arms 5-shot so they could like hide it on me. It's perfect little gun for that. And that's what I wanted. And man, he wasn't very talkative or anything, it was like strictly business. And he really didn't want to give me the gun either. Like, oh man, he was afraid I was going to come back. But whatever, you know what I mean? Like, you live and learn. That's how I see it. You live and learn. I forgive him. I don't want to stand in front of God and God say, you know what? I got to turn you away because, you wouldn't forgive the hawk shop guy. So I forgive everybody that took advantage of me or whatever, whatever. I don't want to be standing in front of God with that hanging over my head, especially what they did, right? I actually feel sorry for them, because when they got to stand there in front of God and he's going to say, whoa, you're bad. Get rid of them guys. Yeah. Oh man, I love Florida. I was in Florida. I have relatives there, and I'd go visit them. I love Florida. The only thing I didn't like about Florida, I'll tell you right now, when you can't stand by the water. Like the first time I went, the I went outside my aunt's house, and there's a little park, and it had a canal over in Tampa, and I just went over there, and I was just standing by the canal, and it doesn't look like the canals here, right? They're different over there, but it was a beautiful park and this beautiful canal. And all of a sudden, all these people started yelling at me, to get away, back up, and I was like looking at them like, what? And then one of them said, an alligator's gonna eat you, it's gonna jump out of the water and take you down. You better get away from the water. And I jumped back so fast. And then forever after that, it was like, man, I wouldn't get close to the water. And I always wanted to, because it's so beautiful. And like, man, that blows over there. But hi, Gladys. Yeah, that blows. I'm gonna tell you, that took all the fun out of it. Even though the state's beautiful, with all the moss, Spanish moss, and all that stuff hanging off the trees. Oh man, I really loved it. It was beautiful. And I like I would move to Oklahoma with all my relatives over there too, except for everything can kill you over there, right? The spiders, they got all of them. All the bad ones. All the snakes can kill you. Over here we have rattlesnakes and stuff like, maybe 2 snakes that might kill you, and a black widow. The tarantulas won't kill you. And so yeah, I what I like about where I live now is what else I liked about over there was the lightning bugs. They're so cool. I wish we had them here. That would be there. That is fun to look at. And it was fun to watch kids run around, for them. Man, I want to ask you, one day we'll have to get together. I want to ask you about a certain mountain, because I heard there's a treasure on that mountain from Joaquin Murrieta. And so I want to ask you about that and see if you can find it in there. Yeah, copperheads and rattlesnakes, and man, they got everything back there. Oh my God, it'll kill you. But over here where I am now, it's an hour to Yosemite, or no, 3 hours, 3 hours to Yosemite, an hour to the mountains, high mountains, a couple hours to the beach, 3 hours to LA, Los Angeles, 3 hours to San Francisco, a couple hours to the beach, Um, I love that. Maybe a couple hours to Kings Canyon National Park, Sequoia National Park. I mean, it had the best of everything right here, except for it's hotter than blazes in the summertime. Yeah, lightning bugs are cool. They really are. I guess the people back there, they get used to it, but I know, like in Florida has the swamp ape, and Bigfoot is in Oklahoma, and especially right where my relatives live over there. My mother-in-law saw Bigfoot stand up out of it was laying in the leaves, covered up with leaves. And as she approached her place, it stood up and stared at her and watched her drive by. Hey, night, JP. Cool, man. Hey, AC, how are you, brother? Yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of cool where we live. No, I think it's hey, how's it going, Brian? I dig Daytona. The great I love the video last time. That was a when do you ever find that coin? I can't even say the name of the little Indian girl on the coin, but when do you find one of those, man? That was really good. I know it's not old and it's probably not valuable or not. It's worth a buck though, I guess. But that was a great hunt, bro. Great hunt. Yeah, see, I have some friends that moved over to the Choctaw Res. Freezing your butt off. Yeah. And you're in Florida. Sheesh. I heard it's cold over there. Somebody up in the chat just said it was 35 degrees. I know that's cold for there. Like I remember the last time I was it was March or something like that. I was in Florida, just outside of Tampa, and I think it was 72 in the day. And they said, but only there was a frost that came by. My aunt was all ticked off because it frosted overnight down to like 28 degrees and killed all her plants. She was pretty mad about that. We go to the extremes over here, man. It'll be cold in the wintertime and not so bad in the day, 50s, 60s, in the winter. Like today was 66, I think. But only the summer 125, in the shade under my patio. And they'll be saying, "Oh, it's 110 today," but my thermometer says 125. At the very end of it's like banging on it's redlining or whatever you want to call it. I heard about the iguanas falling out of the trees. I actually had an iguana. Somebody brought it to me at my ranch, and it got away. And it was about 2.5 feet long, and it got away. And all the kids were ticked, like, and I told them it wasn't me. I didn't do it. They did. They kept messing with it, and taking it out of the cage and everything. And one of them probably didn't latch it good enough, and it got away. And we only had it about a week. And I thought it was going to go out and become a dinner for something, a mountain lion or bobcat, you know. It was gonna get I figured it became dinner. And 2 years later, we had a pond on our property. It was probably a 4-acre pond, and we we go down there, and there it ran and swam across the pond, and there it was. It wasn't dead, it lived. And then a year later, I saw it across the street in the neighbor's pond swimming across, and it was hunting birds. I was tripping out on that. When it was in the neighbor's pond, I actually was sitting on top of a hill at my house with some binoculars looking for bear. On the other, I heard the neighbors were saying there was some bear in the area. So I was glassing the area for bear, and then I see this iguana over there swimming around in this guy's pond, and it was hunting birds. It actually got one, and I couldn't believe it. And it went up a tree, way up in this tree, and ate the bird. And I was wondering about how did it I know they slow way down, like, we get snow up there a couple times a year, couple of inches, but it's cold even if it doesn't snow, and I was wondering how it made it through the winter. It must just freeze onto a branch, be like that one in, Up in Smoke. Is that what the Cheech and Chong movie? Yeah, I mean, that's what it reminded me of, like the Cheech and Chong iguana. And they all started acting like iguanas. It was kind of funny. Iguanas taste like chicken. Yeah, that's what everybody tells me frog legs taste like. I mean, I would go frogging with people, but I never ate the frog legs. It was like they're alive. Jumping around, in the pan. Yeah, no thanks. No. I wouldn't eat it. Yeah. Yep. I wouldn't mind going to Florida and looking for the skunk ape, and I actually want to go squatching everywhere. And I want to meet people, like I want to meet you guys out there wherever you are and go squatching in your favorite squatch place. That's what people say. They say they're good, Karen. I can't bring myself to eat it though. You're joking about the iguanas tasting like chicken. I heard they do. Everything tastes like chicken, really. I remember back when I was a hunter, or my family still hunted. I didn't hunt, but one of my family members gave me a couple of bear rump roast, and I had them in the freezer, and I didn't tell anybody we had a Halloween party, and I didn't tell anybody what I was cooking. And there's a certain way that you prepare bear because it's really lean. So you have to do something. Otherwise, it tastes like shoe, the bottom of your shoe or whatever, shoe leather. And so I prepared it, and I worked on it for about 3 days, and then, you know, and then I barbecued it, smoked it on the smoker with some tri-tip and other, ribs and stuff like that. And I put the bear on first, and the bear got done first. And yeah, yummy shoe. Yeah. Oh, I'll smoke that up. No, but there's all these guys standing around. I don't drink either, but they're everybody's standing there having a beer, and the kids are running all around. It's a Halloween party thing, and yeah, it was a bear butt. Yep, sure was, and it was totally bare too. I lay that sucker bare. And I started cutting tasters. They're like, "Hey, do we get a taster? Man, it's smelling good." I'm like, "Yeah." I started cutting uh tasters. I told everybody get a fork and get your own fork, and I just started cutting little pieces, and they were grabbing it off the grill with their fork. And man, they were like, "Oh my gosh, this is so good," and we probably ate like half the roast. And somebody says, "Man, it has this a different kind of taste, but it's good, really good. But in fact, I don't think I've ever tasted meat like that before. And then I said bear, and all these guys are spitting their beer out and looking green and everything. I was like, what? You don't like my cooking? Oh, come on. You guys are like challenge. I couldn't cut it fast enough a minute ago. But oh man, they didn't like that. It was like they were mad at me because I tricked them. I told them I didn't trick you. I didn't tell you what it was. You asked for a taster and I gave you a taster. Nobody asked me what it was. Crazy people. But only some of them were like, "Hey, where do we get this at?" Told them you got to hunt it. You can't buy this anywhere. You got to go get it yourself, and that's dangerous going after those guys, especially if you're bow hunting. It's a little, hairy. They're scary there. The oyster beds, man, I tried oyster and they kind of like were crunchy a little bit. Only we were eating them right on the beach, Pismo Beach, and we were sucking them off the shell, and it was I won't eat those anymore either. It kind of reminded me of snot, you know. But only I've had friends come over and I've barbecued them for them, pour a little beer in each one and all that, and they liked it. I think they were oysters, I think. But yeah, that's fish bait to me. When we used to go fishing, we would use clams and stuff like that for fish bait. Not and I don't even like fish that much I used to, only I had an incident with the fish and was sick all night. So I can't eat fish anymore. I can't even smell it anymore because of that. Yeah, there you go, Darlene. Same as me. I could check them and cook them, but I don't eat them. I mean, I draw the line on some things, but on venison and bear, elk, any wild game animal, all rabbit. I've eaten porcupine. That porcupine's like greasy, a little bit greasy, but we would use porcupine in like spaghetti, stuff like that. Grind it up and fry it like hamburger and put it in the spaghetti. And it wasn't bad. They're pretty hard to clean. After you shoot them, you gotta watch out. Get yourself stuck on that one. Yeah, oysters on the half shell. I have friends that'll suck them down. Crab legs. Those are bugs, right? Ocean bugs, lobsters, all that kind of stuff. Crawdads, man. But I know Bigfoot like them. I know Bigfoot like them. I've actually found places along the river where we have clams in along the rivers. I guess they're all over the place like that, but I've found where they've sat and there was tracks right there. We got tracks and it was hard to get to that little beach. I mean, it took me 3 hours to get to this little beach. And see, when we go out, when me and Adolf go out, we're looking for places where the tracks are. And so I actually have been doing that for a long time, and then one day I found this place on the river. I could see it, but I couldn't get to it. And I wanted to get to it. And then one year I just decided I'm going to bushwhack my way in there and get to it. And it was very difficult. There was stinging nettle and all kinds of stuff to get through to get to it. And I got over there and there was these big, huge Bigfoot tracks. And I thought I hit the mother lode. I didn't have any I quit doing castings so much but only I haven't found prints in a long time. So I think I'm going to buy some more casting stuff. But I was casting them all the time, and then I would give the casts away like an idiot. I wish I would have saved some of them. because they were like non-believers, but when they see a cast, they're a lot of non-believers are like, wow, oh my God, how did you fake that? Well, it's hard to fake, okay? Really hard. And especially when you're taking pictures of a trackway on a river that you can't get to, like a beach you can't get to. And the people that I gave the cast to, they knew that, that you can't get to that. But when I got over there, I followed the tracks, and right at the edge of the beach, and went into this little gravel place, and I lost the track. But I could see where it sat there and was digging the clams up, and it was eating them. There was a pile of clam shells, like about like that, you know, and it sat right there and just was chowing on these little clams, probably this big, little bitty clams. Well, I figured out how to make the chat move finally. It's moving now. Yeah. Yeah. So, hey, I wanted to give you guys a heads up. Okay. Um, I have a lot of people living in my house, and it's okay. Okay. I, I'm okay with it. A lot of people freak out, but I'm helping people. So, but I do a lot of shopping because of that at different grocery stores and stuff. And over the years, especially raising 6 kids and stuff, I've got to know the managers of some of these grocery stores and grocery outlet and stuff like that. And I was in there looking for baby milk. And I looked all over, and I went to several stores, and they did not have baby milk. And so I asked the manager of one of the stores that I know the guy, I walked up, "Hey, Jorge, where's the baby milk? It hasn't been here for like 2 weeks. I haven't been able to, at that certain store, get any." And also the Walmarts. I couldn't find it at any Walmarts either, so I had to buy a different brand that actually the baby's not supposed to have. And we took the baby to the doctor the other day, and the doctor gave us a bunch of sample cans. And so we have some, but not enough still. Because of what I'm about to tell you, the manager of this store told me, I mean, he was freaking out. When I brought it up, he started just tripping. And he told me that they had a meeting, the store chain. It's not a big like national chain, but like where I live at it, I don't know, they have quite a few stores up and down the California, probably like from Sacramento to Bakersfield, something like that. And excuse me. And he said he was asking, why are the trucks so light? Like they're not getting everything. And he wanted to know because a lot of people are asking him where's like baby milk and other things that they haven't had, like coffee creamer and different and fresh produce, stuff like that. So they told him that they're in a crisis because of the ships. And then Biden made it worse with the mandates, and the truckers aren't delivering even from Mexico. They can't come across the border. And that's where we get all our produce from. And so expect even lighter trucks. So he went away mad, like what? He was mad at the government, and he talked to the truckers that come in and deliver the stuff and ask every one of them, what's going on. And each one of them told him the warehouse usually has enough for 3 to 5 months. It could just stop being they could stop getting deliveries to the warehouse and they'll be able to carry on for like 3 to 5 months. He said, you have 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks. And the warehouse is empty. And they're not getting anything. So if you guys aren't getting stocked up, I'm telling you, this is a nationwide thing. I've been saying, get stocked up. Now you better hurry up and get stocked up. I was talking to the Walmart manager on one of the little, what they call them, the neighborhood grocery Walmart. It's not a full-blown giant Walmart. It's more like a little grocery store Walmart. And they're saying the same thing. They're saying the same thing. They're running out. And it's going to be running out. And they don't know how long. Nobody knows how long. It's a good thing what the truckers are doing right now. Yeah, I mean, it's going to hurt everyone. And it's going to be nationwide, Canada-wide. Get some food. And I don't know how long, but get some. And I have, let's see, you can get a deal. I know everybody has these things. Let me see here. I don't know where it is. I think it's this one. Yeah. You could get a deal if you ordered this stuff. I ordered some, and because I don't know how long. So I ordered a couple of $100 worth, and a couple of $100 got me 4 weeks, like a month. But that's not bad. A month of food for $200. So I'm telling you guys, like I backed off of it because I didn't want, I'm not in it to like sell stuff to everybody, okay? But only if it's really important to me and these guys made the offer, I'm saying get yourself in the store and do whatever you can. If you're already stocked up, I am so glad you did. But if you haven't been, I'm, boy, is it going to be tough. Yeah, I'm planting a garden too. And I've been telling my relatives that are not hunters and gatherers, I tell them, you better get back to the roots, hunting and gathering, because if you don't stock up, that's all you're going to be, begging off of people and stuff. So don't mess around. All right. I don't want to see nobody go hungry or anything. And I think this whole thing is effed up completely. I mean, it is totally created. This is not something that happened, and everybody's dealing with it. No, this is created and they're hurting us. And it makes me so mad. Oh my God. I get angry about stuff like this, really angry. And I think the truckers might save us because they're not going to quit doing what they're doing until these people back off, and I think it's just freaking crazy. It makes me so angry. I can't say anymore. Hey, killed by Bigfoot. See, I used to raise earthworms and stuff like that. I wish I was still doing it. Only this year, I'm already preparing the ground for a garden because they're putting the screws to us, and they've been using fear, and these guys are demonic. Okay, this is a demonic thing, a demonic attack on everyone. I'm starting a prayer channel. God hasn't released me to really go live on it yet, But I have a feeling it's close, like a few days, and I'm going to be going live, and we're going to start praying against this demonic thing. In fact, I pray on right now. I cut this demonic, uh, the demon plan. I cut it off at the root and command it to die in Jesus' name. You know, no more. We should not take any more. I am so over it. So much. Really bad. I mean, I can't even talk about it anymore. I'm going to start saying things that get me shut off my channel, and I'll go into some kind of cussing fit, because it makes me mad, really mad. And I mean, and if you don't believe me, go ask your own store manager and the people that work at the store. Ask them. They'll tell you. I mean, I've went to several stores already, and they're pretty true. They don't know. They don't know. They just know that the trucks are getting lighter and lighter, and they're not getting everything. And it's more and more things not on the shelf. It's almost like slow. It's like, how do you, like, speaking of cooking up frogs or whatever, you can put them live in the boiling water, and they don't know they're dying yet, until it's full boil and they're already gone. It's almost like what they did to us over the years. It's been over the years. This isn't like something that happened. They've slowly been taking our freedoms away little bit by little bit, and now it's blatant. They're coming right out with it. I mean, they're saying the truth right in our face, and almost like we can't do anything about it. That really makes me mad. Yeah, that's what they want. That's exactly right, JP. All planned. But I'll tell you what's really going on. Like when they start talking about, yeah, that's right. It was, Gladys. The toilet paper was the beta test to see what would happen, and everybody freaked out. Completely freaked out. I mean, I let my Costco membership go over that. The way Costco is being, like they said, I'm disabled and a senior, right? I'm going to turn 63 here in a couple weeks. They were saying, okay, disabled senior people, come an hour early and get in line and we'll let you in. And then they only told you could only have one roll, one package. So I waited in line 2 hours for one package. It was like, serious? And I was seeing people walking out with 3, 5 packages. It was like, wait a minute, how come you're doing that to the seniors? After it opened, it was before it opened. Then when it finally opened, and I'm sitting in my car watching the other people come out, and they have cases of stuff, and I'm thinking, I just did that for one. Like, what do I have to go back in and fight with everyone now to get another one? Like, oh man, it made me so mad. I was mad. Yeah, that's right. They are, Jane. And hi, Jane. Hi, Ped. I can't lose any weight, man. I'm already getting low. Yeah, I don't care about the Dragon Moon either. I don't even believe in none of that stuff. Tell you the truth, it's a bunch of bull BS. Something to lead you away from God. That's what it is. You know, all the there's so many religions and stuff like that. It's all to get you off the one religion. The one. You only have one that could give you life after death. And, figure that one out. Yeah, so I'm going to take that banner off. If that's bugging me, it keeps reminding me of it. I'm terrible. But you guys see it, right? Preparewithsquatch.com. Go there. You could get a deal. They'll give you like $50 off or something like that. Maybe more now. I haven't really talked to them in a while. But yeah, so, and then go join this channel. I don't know if I still have it. It's Prayer Team. That's what it's called on YouTube, Prayer Team. Join Prayer Team on YouTube channel, because I'm going to be going live on that one, and everyone is going to be, we're going to pray like the truckers are doing. You can pray from anywhere. And I want like God showed me that we're all going to be praying at corporate prayer. And there's power in numbers. So, get on there and we'll all pray. There'll be power in prayer. And a lot of people, maybe they don't know how to pray. I'll teach you how to pray. And I'm probably going to go on that one way more than I go on this one, because this is really important to me, and God made it important to me. You did, yeah. He's been giving everybody dreams. I've had people coming to me and they don't even know about the prayer team thing, and they're telling me these dreams, and some of them are pretty bad. Like they were telling me, this one guy was sharing a dream with me that it got so bad in the city that he was at night, he was sneaking around looking for women and children to save, and whoever was walking around outside, he just shot him, no questions asked. He didn't care what they were dressed as, police, whatever. And then when he found the women and children, he would sneak them all the way back to a safe spot where he had a safe spot. And I guess he went out 2 times in his dream and found children, but he shot like 7 or 8 people, just straight up. Here comes somebody walking, and bam, if they were a male, they were gone. I was like, wow, what a dream, dude. Wow. That's the YouTube channel, Prayer Team. That's the name of the YouTube channel, Prayer Team. And we'll be going live on there and praying live. And I wanted a lot of people. Well, God told me I don't have to worry about it. Once we start praying and everything, he said he'll bring the people, and in the hundreds of thousands praying all at the same time live. Like, we're going to do some damage. We're going to do some damage, serious damage. I love it. I want to do some serious damage. I'm not sure if Facebook, I don't think so. I don't think Facebook, he had me set up on all the streams, but I haven't made those go live. I have the YouTube totally set up, and I thought that was going to be it, just the YouTube. And he gave me a download. I don't know what else to call it. I was just praying about this situation of 2 weeks left in the warehouse, right, of food. 2 weeks, okay? All right. Well, I was praying about that, and even before that, a few months ago, he was letting me know that not just YouTube. And so I created a Twitter and stuff like that, and he's like, no, every platform. And I'm probably going to get kicked off some of them too, according to him, just for praying. I know I'm shadow banned on here because I say Jesus' name. Did you know that? On YouTube, I'm just shadow banned because I say Jesus' name. Is that amazing? Like, what in the world is wrong with this world? We used to be able to say whatever we want, whenever we want, however we want, to whoever we want. I mean, I don't care what anybody's opinion is, speak it out. If you're against something, say it. If you don't like what I say it. I mean, that's how it's supposed to be. Freedom, right? Freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want. You can talk about anything you want. And not like that anymore now. They've shut up probably 25,000 doctors. Yeah. Nobody can find the truth right now. You have to really dig to find the real truth. It blows me away, man. It blows me away. And if they have their way, like here in California, they're talking about putting insurance. You have to buy insurance if you own a gun, but then the insurance is going to be $200 a month. Like what? Per gun. So if you have more than one gun, like it could be $800 a month, like this is freaking ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Does that go against the Second Amendment? Hell yeah, it does. Like, man, like this is crazy. But so I'm not on BitChute yet, but I need help. You guys who wants to be admins, let me know. If you're on Facebook with me, message me. If you're on Facebook, email me at alan59thomas@gmail.com. And God told me that he's going to send people to me. That I thought I was going to do this all on my own, but he's like, no, it's bigger than me and bigger than what I think and all that. I was like, okay. And so I'm sharing all the way. And alan59thomas@gmail.com. Email me, help me set it up, help me get it going. I mean, it's crazy. We got to stop it. And the best way to stop it, prayer. It works. Yeah, we're just freaking eaters to them. We just eat everything. We eat up the resources. It's a bunch of bull crap. Just like climate change is bull crap. It's all bull crap. We're not hurting the earth. You know that if we all died, the earth would go back to normal and it would be fine. But we're not really doing anything to the earth, really. They are. They're the ones freaking spraying crap in the air. They've had weather modification for a long time. They're the ones heating up the atmosphere with the HARP and stuff like that, and spraying aluminum and barium and all this crap in there, and then heating it up. And we've been breathing this shit. Now they want to turn on 5G. They turn on 5G. You know what happened when they turn on 5G? Everybody started having panic attacks. How many people do you know that's having anxiety, like off the chart anxiety? I mean, I have family members and neighbors, and they're all telling me, "Oh man, they're having anxiety." It's crazy, dude. We're not doing it. It's not us, okay? It's not the people. It's them. They're doing it. I'm probably going to lose my YouTube channel talking about this like this, but you know what? You got to draw the line somewhere. Somewhere. We have to stand up for ourselves. We can't just be quiet anymore. It's past that. Let me tell you what these wars things, and most of the climate change is from the sun. I put a video up, and if you look up, I think it's Kazakhstan. There's a cave in Kazakhstan, I think it is. And these people survived an event. And when I haven't heard that. Yeah, it's a trip, man. It's a trip. I'm telling you. But I haven't heard of Dr. Zelenko. Okay, now let me tell you. I was telling this to my wife the other day. I've been researching this kind of stuff since the internet came on. Okay, so I built my first computer that could go on the internet in 1999. I think it was right in there, 98, 99, somewhere in there. Maybe it was 98. Okay, somewhere in there. Windows 98. Is that what it was? Windows 3.0, Windows 3. Well, it was somewhere in the late 90s. And everybody was getting access to the internet by then. And I started researching it, and I came across it, and I dig deep on things. When I find something, I I'm like a bulldog, a pit bull or whatever, a hunting dog, a hound dog. I'm like, once I get on the trail, of something that interests me, I just dig and dig and dig and dig and dig, and I don't let it go. I just keep going and going and going, I just go after it. And oh man, I used to write all my DOS stuff, floppy drives. That's how I used to boot the computer that I built. They had 2 floppies, But anyways, I'm getting off track. So I came across what was called then the White Dragon Society, and the black hats and the white hats. Okay, and they had a plan. And China was leading the plan. China actually they were going to, and they were working with the United States, and they were working with Russia, and there's black hats and white hats in all the countries, all of them. And a lot of them are backed by our own CIA, and that is controlled by these families, the rich bankster families, demonic, reptilian families. And so, I'm reading this in 1998, 99, 2000, 2001. I'm digging and digging and digging on this stuff. And the plan was they were going to take out these families. And they were already gathering evidence of the crimes, of the child trafficking, all this stuff, and I couldn't believe what I was reading, like, cannibalism type satanic worship stuff way back then. So now, fast forward till today, and they're talking about war, Russia, Ukraine, China, war. Okay. The black hats are promoting war. Okay. But they're saying it's going to be a war. What's really happening is the white hats, it's going to be a war, all right, but it's not going to be what we think of as war. It's actually going to be the end of the black hats. The white hats in every country are going to take back control of their country and away from these demonic entities that are running the world ever since Egypt days. That's how long these families have been in control, going way back. Okay. And they're finally they're going to take them out. And God showed me something. He told me that the only reason, like this prayer team thing and all this stuff, he told me that the earth, the blood, the innocent blood is screaming out, and he hears it, and he's coming to fix it. And so that's happening too at the same time. All this is culminating to right now. So be hopeful, be positive, because really it's going to be positive. We're going to see a new day in our lifetime, not long. And all this we're going to look back on this as like the greatest thing that ever happened, honestly. But right now, it's full on war. That's what's happening right now. So what letter is it? BlackRock and Vanguard. Let me see. Wait, who is it? I'm 3 3.5s. I remember when 3.5s, 5 1/4 floppies. Yeah, I'm ready too. That's exactly right, AC. If you don't forgive, you can't be forgiven. So you have to be forgiving. Okay, Dr. Zelenko. I just looked that up, right? On DuckDuckGo or something like that. Because I was looking up earlier today. I got an antibody test for the crud. Okay, I can't think of another word. I don't want to say it, but I have I'm like immune to this because I got it. I got it in 2019 and I had it bad for a couple of months from Thanksgiving till Christmas of 2019. I was sick. Well, now, I have all these doctors, cardiologists, and you name it, man. I got doctors. I'm getting the eyeball shot. Everybody's asking me, am I getting and I'm not. And I keep on telling everybody, I'm not. And my regular general doctor was talking to me and asking me about it. And I said, no, because I had it. And if you had it, that means you're immune. I mean, that just makes sense, right? I'm not a doctor or anything, but if you had the measles, you don't get the measles anymore. If you had the mumps, you don't get the mumps. You know what I mean? So, yeah, the chicken pox, you don't get the chicken pox. So I already had it. And so they did a blood test. They want to prove it. They want to make sure, So, because they're scared of me out there, they don't want me in their office because I didn't get the thing and the poke or whatever you want to call it. So it came back, and I have more antibodies than the actual what you get, what everybody's afraid of. And so I'm immune, totally immune. And it's like everybody, quit being so afraid. Don't be afraid. The truth's coming out. It can't kill. It kills like the oldest, weakest people, but the actual cure is killing people. Okay? The cure is. So just make sure that you're not living in fear of that at all, because it's nothing to fear. And right now, everybody in the hospital is like if you are the crowd, you can't go to the hospital. They won't see you. So that means everybody in there had the cure. It didn't work because it's gonna get them. And I'm sorry if you got the cure, because if you did, I don't know what to tell you. You need to pray, because that could cure it. That could cure the cure. And so we'll be praying for all the people. And God laid it on me to do the prayers. We're gonna do it. And my wife's coming in. How long have I been doing this? An hour and 48 minutes. Yeah. Right now, that's what everybody has is the flu and a cold. That's it. But everybody is so scared. Don't you remember 6 years ago, 7 years ago, if you got the flu pretty bad, you go to the hospital, waiting room was packed full of people hacking and coughing, and everybody had the flu, and it was always packed. Absolutely. Nobody wanted to go to the ER because it was a 5-hour ordeal because it was so packed full of sick people. Nothing's changed. That's what's really going on. I mean, everybody needs to get off this fear kick. Like in the Bible, I don't know how many times it says it, but lots and lots of times the angels say, "Fear not." Right? We need to fear not. Like, man, fear is from the enemy, okay? Yeah, the wife, she keeps walking by. She comes in and gives me like, "Come on, you said you weren't gonna be that long." Only I like hanging with you guys a lot, and tonight I really liked it. You guys are the best. I pray for you guys all the time. Even if I don't know you and you just tuned in, you're somebody that just happened by and you never got in the chat or even, I mean, I pray for the ones that even come to the channel later and, skip through or whatever. I pray for everybody. I pray for the world. I pray right now, I'm praying hardcore for lots of people. There you go. 356 times. It's a lot of times. So, yeah, so I gotta go. So I'm gonna pray right now that anybody that got the cure, I demand and command that this foreign substance inside your body die in Jesus' name. Anybody that's sick, I command the sickness, whatever it is that caused it, die in Jesus' name. Get out of those bodies. Get out of everyone in Jesus' name. I command the devil, demonic people trying to hurt the earth. I cut off your power from the source. You have no more power. I cut it off in Jesus' name. We have the power. You have to go back to the pit of hell where you came from. I stop your plans in the name of Jesus. Amen. Well, there we go. Got that business taken care of, right? So, I love you guys. I pray right now. I'm not done praying, it looks like. I pray for the abundance of God to be blessing you in every area of your life. Abundant health, abundant wealth, abundance in your relationship, abundance from your job, favor everywhere you go. Have the angels in front of you, making sure that there's favor. Everything goes in your favor. And I pray that on every single person that hears this. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, now I'm done. Okay, I feel a lot better. But I love you guys. I pray for you all the time, just like that, too, every night. And it doesn't take a lot of words. You don't got to pray for an hour or nothing like that. But I love y'all. Hey, Digger Dog, how are you, brother? How you doing, man? So, yeah, you can feel the power of God. It's all over me. I'm getting like teary and stuff. I mean, I got goosebumps like raising up all over my body. And I get like that every day, but yeah. I need to go now though, because boy, that one got me. That prayer got me. I can feel the power all over. I hope you feel it too. So, okay, I'll see you guys really soon. And then everyone that wants to help me on the prayer team thing and set it all up and everything, I'm going to give you full admin rights. Okay. Like if you have gifts and you're not afraid to be on camera, even, or whatever you want to do to help, let me know. Alan59Thomas at gmail.com. And I will get back with you. I have jury duty coming up this whole week. So I don't know how great this week is. And I'm going to get a hold of Chris or Ghost Wolf. He already showed a great interest in it. And I just been so busy that I haven't been able to do anything. But get a hold of me. You could be part of the prayer team leaders, whatever you really would, however you can help. Okay. Whatever it is, your gift from God that you were born with. If I'm sure God could use every single warrior. Okay. So don't be afraid, fear not, and we'll catch you on the next one. Okay, love you all.